Welcome all to the Field Goal Podcast, my very first video podcast, and it cannot come at a better time for me personally with the NFL draft, which is always one of my favorite seasons, and the NBA playoff, which actually tipped off yesterday, which I'll be touching on, especially about that Golden State Sacramento game that I went to sleep on. Crazy. But since then, I really haven't spoke with you guys, and I want to give a shout out to the LSU women on winning their NCAA championship. And for me, what's even bigger than that, I strongly believe they changed the culture of women basketball. And I am very excited about next year season for NCAA women. So huge shout out to Angel Reese, huge shout out to Kim Mulkey, and everyone who came before them. But these girls definitely changed the culture. They definitely changed the culture. So huge shout out to them. So yeah, let's get right into it. Huge shout out to the Sacramento Kings on their first playoff win of this year, game 1 against the Golden State Warriors, which De'Aaron Fox, he's a dog. 38 points with 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and was able to follow Steph around the whole court, following Steph is not no easy task at all. He's coming around. A lot of screens, backdoor cuts, and he's just nonstop. That offense is nonstop. But De'Aaron Fox has the speed and the defensive IQ to know how to slide through all that. But I don't think it's going to last. Golden State has too much chemistry, too much know-how, too much championship veterans on that team who can run the offense with their eyes closed and know that everyone is going to be there. They have the confidence, and the biggest thing is the Kings have to play great every night against these guys. They only won by 2 or 3 points last night, and they played great. But the Warriors played bad. Steph and Clay are not going to combine for 9 for 28 shooting again. No, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen no more in this series. Probably not going to happen no more in this playoff. So you caught them on a good night, and you only won by 3 or 2. I forgot the score. But that's not going to fly. And for you to have to be that great every single night, I just don't think the Kings have it. I know they are the 3 seed, but I don't think they have it in them to beat this Warrior team. So I definitely got the Warriors winning on Monday night, and probably game 3 as well, going up 2-1. And it's going to be hard for those young Kings to probably get game 4. So it might go to 3-1 or 2-1 back to Sacramento, and then they just gonna have to rely on the crowd like they did tonight. But that's still a tough task, so I just don't think they can do it. Now, this other matchup in the West, the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Memphis Grizzlies, this is a much better matchup. This is one that I think that can go 6 to 7 games, mainly because I don't think no one on LA team can stop Ja Morant. I'm just going to be honest with you. D-Lo, too slow. Austin Reeves, he ain't ready yet. He's ready probably on the offense. He probably going to make some noise on the offensive side, but he can't hold Ja. You don't want to put LeBron on him because you don't want to put all the wear and tear on LeBron. You need him on the offensive side. Obviously, AD is a 5. He's going to be on Jaren Jackson all day, so he can't even worry about him. So the only one I see is Jared Vanderbilt, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think that's their best chance of probably just trying to slow down Ja. But if Ja is on this redemption run, obviously from the suspension and the gun and the club situation, but if he's going to be on this redemption run, who else better to do it against LeBron? Started off with LeBron. And you know that no one can hold you on this team. Game 1, I'm going to give my prediction. Game 1, so the Grizzlies are favored by 4. See, I'm going to take the Grizzlies. I'm going to take my head over my heart because I really want the Lakers to go get game one. But if the Lakers don't get it, I don't need Laker Nation overreacting because we all got to remember in the game of basketball in a 7-game series, as a road team, as the bottom seed, it's about just getting one on the road. That's it. So even if they lose today, as long as they go get another one on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever they play. So please don't panic. I do believe Ja going to have a great game, like I said. And I believe LeBron going to have a very effective game. He probably won't score as much because he's known for that first game to fill a team out, get his teammates involved. So AD might have a 30-point night. Austin Reeves might have 15. D-Lo might have 13, depending on how his foot is, because he's dealing with foot injuries. But I do think Memphis Grizzlies coming on top, especially with that stadium going to be rocking. So that's my predictions today about the Los Angeles Lakers at Memphis. But don't overreact, Laker Nation. It's going to be all right. Trust me. And as far as the rest of the NBA playoffs, 76ers and the Celtics, I'm not going to even touch on their first round matchups. They're going to breeze through the first round. So I'm not going to even touch on it. But the Suns and the Clippers, I think KD going to put these boys to sleep real quick. Probably not 4, but I would say 6. I think Kawhi, I owe Kawhi one. I mean, he Kawhi. He going to get one in LA. But I don't see them being much of a test for the Suns. The Suns can make a very deep run if they stay healthy. We all know KD and we all know Chris Paul always blow a tire around this time. So if they legs can stay good, they would be great. Other than that, the Knicks and the Cavs will be very interesting. Keep an eye on that matchup, but I don't see none of them being title contenders. So it's just first round fun. That's all that is for them. They just out there just playing some playoff ball, trying to get them a shoe deal. That's what that's a shoe deal series. That's what we call that. So as I stated earlier, the NFL draft is actually one of my favorite sport events. And April 27th, I will be very, very excited. I'll be glued to the TV. So what I wanted to do was give you my picks for the Cowboys and the Houston Texans that I believe that'll give them a grade A draft. So here we go. So for the Texans, I really hope that C.J. Stroud is able to fall to number 2. I think he the best quarterback in the draft. I think he got the most upside. He fall to Houston at number 2. Houston have to go get Jackson Smith, Najiba, which I believe will be there at number 12. So you don't even have to make any trade up or down. You can sit there, get both of them. You bring that same chemistry from Ohio State straight into your locker room. And you know they already know each other. You already know each other on the field. So I think that'll be awesome. Plus, with that, if some way, somehow, Nolan Smith from Georgia, the edge that ran, I think it's between a 4.39, 4.42, if he can somewhere slide all the way down to the 32nd pick, which is the second pick in the second round, if he can somewhere slide there, I think you have to grab him. And that will kill 3 needs for you. Quarterback, wide receiver to replace Brandon Cooks, and edge, which I feel like they definitely need if they talking about Will Anderson at 2, if they don't like any of the quarterbacks, which I believe is just those are smoke screens that's coming out. At this time, a lot of smoke screens come out and they say that this team probably like this person. They probably won't take a quarterback. And then Houston is taking a quarterback. And even if it's Bryce Young, I still think that's a grade A. But I think grabbing that wide receiver at 12 and it being JSN, I think that would make it an A. And just grab, even if it's the guy from Iowa, the edge, even if he slide in the second round, but I think you got to go grab your edge early second round. So edge early second round, quarterback at number 2, and Jackson at 12. Him specifically. Now, for my Dallas Cowboys, for me, so I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to do a wishful thinking one, and I'm going to do a more realistic one. Just because obviously it's the Cowboys. I got to have fun. So, my wishful thinking, and this is me praying to the football gods that this guy fall to us at number 26. Bijan Robinson, first round, number 26. I don't know how. I don't know. I know I've been hearing it a lot, but I just don't believe that he would fall to 26 if he's top 3 on everybody else draft boards, as in talent-wise. Man, if he fall to us, we are great. So to continue with that wishful thinking, Bijan in the first round. Kalijah Cansey from Pittsburgh. He's a DT. He's more of a 3 technique, but he plays in the backfield. He has 7.5 sacks. He's more smaller. He getting a lot of comparisons to Aaron Donald because they both went to Pittsburgh, and they both kind of a smaller, but they get to the quarterback right up the middle type of disruptive player. But I'm not going to put that on him. That's just insane to do. But he is very disruptive. So to take him in the second round, if he can fall to Dallas in the second round without them trading up or trading down again, that would be awesome. And for the third round, I would love for Dallas to draft Alvin Pace Jr., linebacker out of Cincinnati. He is very disruptive getting to the quarterback up the middle. He can play sideline to sideline. He can get you tackles. He can really do a lot of things on the field. And just imagine if I get, like I said, Kalijah Cansey and Alvin Pace to both penetrate the middle, while I got D-Law and Micah Parson and Sam Williams all coming off the it. We'll be so disruptive. That defense would be crazy, especially with the additions that we got in the secondary, and just the same Trayvon Diggs. If he can get 4 to 5 picks, I'm not going to do the whole 10 count. That is insane. Last year he had 3, and that was cool. But if he can get 5 this year, Stephon Gilmore give me 3+, I'm good. We'll be back at it. But to go to the more realistic draft picks, and to still be an A for me, is to grab a top tight end, and hopefully we can use that. Hopefully we get 2 tight ends, our 2 tight ends to fall to us at 26, and we can do a swap and probably like a gain a third rounder. So that's what I'm doing with these picks. I want to swap with someone late in the first and gain a third rounder from them. So that way we can pick a whichever tight end, the top tight end on the board. We just take him in the first round. Take whoever that top tight end in the first round. Second round, once again, I want to stick with Kalijah Cansey from Pittsburgh because he is so disruptive coming up the middle, and we need a defensive tackle. We need that threat up the middle to get to the quarterback. And in the third round, again, get Alvin Pace. But with that third round that we traded for, I like a running back named Tank Bigsby out of Auburn. He is really smooth. And this draft is really, really deep with running backs. So even if I don't go get Bijan right, like my wishful thinking, I can still get a darn good running back in the third round, which that's why I would love to swap that first rounder and gain a third rounder from that trade as well, so I can go make that move. That would be a realistic Dallas Cowboy draft for me to get a grade A on it. So yeah, that was that. And finally, if you want me to give you some draft prospect for your team, because I know a lot of people not into that whole prospect, looking up people or trying to find people, but I love that stuff. So if you leave a comment with your team name on it, I'll go through it. And the next podcast, hey, I might dedicate a whole podcast to just giving just the first 3 round mock that I think that'll be a grade A for your team. And like I said, when I come back, we will be talking about more about the playoff, especially since LeBron in the playoff. It's so great to see LeBron in the playoff. When LeBron is in the playoff feel like the playoffs. And then he going against this young, fiery team with the redemption run, like I said, of Ja Morant. Oh, I'm so excited. How can you not be excited? Kevin Durant is up there. I mean, over there with Chris Paul. He can finally give Chris Paul his first ring. I know my grandmother going crazy about that right now. I know she going for the Suns. And you know I'm going with LeBron in LA. I'm not picking. I'm not gonna make any picks. I'm gonna wait a little bit later to make picks, just so we can keep these pods going, so we keep these videos flowing, and you guys can get some of this consistency out of me. So, hey, let's do it. Field Goal Podcast. I'm out.